I was hilarious.
I loved
We were cracking up like the whole time.
I was in tears.
He takes a lot of everyday situations and makes them hysterical.
We could have stayed here all night long and listened to his stories.
I definitely could not stop laughing.
He never cracks a dirty thing, but all of us were sitting there roaring for the whole time.
I couldn't think of a better way to spend an evening with my family than coming to see Jeff Allen.
For over 40 years, Jeff Allen has been making audiences laugh around the world in theaters, on TV and radio, and as a keynote for corporate events and fundraisers. With accolades that include raves from The Hollywood Reporter, The Chicago Tribune, and some of America's most successful corporations, Jeff Allen is bringing charm and world-class comedy to every audience he meets.
We bought a Select Comfort bed. You familiar with that? Each side of the bed has a number. You can dial it in. The higher the number, the harder the mattress. Lower the number, softer the mattress. My number is 100, marble slab, basically. I'm just preparing myself for the morgue, folks. Tammy's number's 2. First night she laid on her side of the bed, she disappeared from my view. The mattress wrapped around her like a flour tortilla. Poor thing was sleeping in a fajita on her side of the bed. I rolled over to kiss her goodnight. I fell into a ditch. I couldn't get out. I'm laying there. She's like, get off of me. What are you doing over here? Get off of me. By the way, if you're a newlywed, that's the sound of 28 years of love right there, folks. What are you doing over here? You're on my hair. Your breath smells. You haven't shaved. Stop touching me, please. And don't get me wrong, we still try to get intimate, Tammy and I. We just save it for special holidays now. Tammy's favorite is just leap year, actually, is her favorite. Yeah. I'll dim the lights and put on Sade, and she'll look at me. Has it been 4 years already, Tiger? All right, let me get the good flannel on, and I'll come back. She falls asleep at 9:15 every night. I mean, 9:15. At 9:10, I will look at her on the couch. It's like a gas leak went off in the living room. Sweetheart, maybe you should go to bed. Oh, no, I'm fine. Oh, you a 5-year-old child? Will you quit fighting it? Just go to bed. Will you shut up? This is my favorite show. Poor woman has seen the beginning of every Law & Order for 5 seasons. And now they come on and rerun it. She gets angry with me. I've seen this one. Well, give it 20 minutes. Dr. Gary Chapman wrote a book called 5 Love Languages. According to Dr. Gary Chapman, there are 5 languages of love between a man and wife. Tammy and I read that book twice in 1 week because our love language wasn't in there. Apparently, bitterness and sarcasm isn't part of Dr. Gary Chapman's love life. It took me 2 years of marriage to figure out she'll never tell me to do anything around our home. If Tammy wants me to do something, she'll ask me a question. It's from the question I got to stand there and figure out what does she want me to do. Give you an example. Let's just say I leave a pair of my underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor, which frosts my wife. That's her word when she's really angry with me. That just frosts me. And if I'm not frosting her, I'm driving her up a wall. That's another one. Kids would come in. Where's Mom? She's up the wall with frostbite. That's all I know. And you won't believe what put her there, boy. It was that pair of underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor. You were looking at the most powerful piece of cotton on the planet. So I leave my underwear in the middle of the floor. Now, would she come to me in her frosted condition and say to me, pick those up? That's 3 words. Pick those up. 3 words. Would she say no? Because that would be simple, direct, and right to the point. And at that moment, I would know exactly what she wanted from me. I would process that information and make a rational decision as to whether or not I would deliver the request. We would then be communicating at the highest human level, the way God the Creator intended it, through language. Tammy looks at me, looks at my underwear, and then asks, are those yours? Well, I sure hope they are, otherwise I got a few questions of my own, babe. And you have to learn how to communicate. That's the big word around communicate. You have to learn how to communicate. Everybody has to learn how to communicate. Men and women, they communicate different. I mean, she could say more with an eye roll and a sigh. My wife can sigh. Hey, Woman can bend a palm tree with a sigh. We were at a costume party last Halloween. I hear the sigh. I look up, she's doing this. So my friend says, she having a stroke? No, she wants to talk to me outside. She doesn't want you people to hear. We get outside, she looks at me, she says, stop acting like a fool. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, you're acting like a fool. I said, I'm dressed as a green bean. What's proper public etiquette for a bean? And she says, you know what I'm talking about. These are my friends. These are not your comedy friends. The people in there actually have some self-respect and dignity. I said, what? I'm not going to stand here and take any abuse from a cucumber. So you can chill, Dill. See, some of you thought it was witty too. I was walking home that night, 5 miles in my green bean feet, by the way. I tried to hitchhike, but nobody's picking up a 6'2" Lejeune on the side of the road. 1969 or 70, you had a chance for a ride. I had boys, I didn't have girls. But I can tell you this, my oldest son went through puberty at 11 years old, and it took him a half an hour. I am not kidding. I'm on the road, he's 11. I call home, he's like, hey Dad, how are you? What's going on? I called home the next night, that same kid picked up the telephone. Hello. Hey, who are you? Put my wife on the phone and get out of my house. And they're all different. I had another son, my youngest, 6'2", 230 pounds, 13 years old. This man-child's voice never dropped. He walked around our house, hey, what's going on there? How you doing? For weeks, hey, how do you keep a straight face during that whole phase of development? He'd yell at his brother. We'd have farm animals showing up at our back porch. Standing in the hall screaming, get out of my room! Dad, they're in my room, they're touching my stuff. Hey, dial it down, man. There's 2 goats on the porch asking for you. Oh, that's a riot, Dad. Hey. Why don't you put that one in your dumb show? Hey. So I do. Thank you so much.